So what do you mean by bearing material is? So let us start. So in this image, you are getting to see one bearing. So such kind of bearing, I know that, and we should know that we have seen it in our day-to-day life. Okay, so that bearing materials, how it is constructed, or what are the various desirable properties of bearing materials, and what is the benefits of such bearing, that we need to understand, and that we are going to study. These are the various types of bearings that you are seeing in this image. It is deep groove ball bearing, self-aligning roller bearing, cylindrical roller bearing, self-aligning ball bearing, bearing block, tapered roller bearing, again thrust bearing, angular contact ball bearing, needle roller bearing. So all these are the bearings that we have seen in our day-to-day life, and but we doesn't know that that which bearing is used for which application. So that all these things we are going to see in detail in this video. See, bearing is member designed to support a load while permitting relative motion between two elements of a machine. Very good explain and very well written there. Please see guys, try to understand. It is very easy to learn. Bearing is a member designed to support a load while permitting relative motion between two elements of a machine. So why we are using bearing, or what is the function of bearing? The function of bearing is to support the load. Okay, it is used to support the load whenever we are transferring, or whenever we are transferring the relative motion in between two elements of machine. Okay, generally we are seeing the ceiling fans. Let's take an example of ceiling fans that all of you have very well known about this and very well familiar about ceiling fans. So ceiling fan is rotating, okay, and it provides the rotary motion in between its overhanging rod and in between its spindle. So that spindle is rotates with the help of that bearing. Okay, so that spindle is mounted over your bearing, and as you switch on the fan, that your fans rotate on the bearing support. So guys, so bearing, what is the function of bearing material? The function of bearing material is designed to support load while permitting relative motion between two elements of a machine. So this is, I think this is beneficial content for you. The next is, metallic surfaces sliding together under load have a tendency to adhere, causing tearing or scoring of surfaces. Heat generation results, and finally seizure. Okay, whatever the sliding contact or sliding pairs, there may be a possibility of causing that material to adhere each other firmly, because there is a friction and there is a high heat generation also. So to what we say eliminate that problem, we need to design these bearing materials, or we need to use this bearing. Next is, so in order to prevent such problems, just I have told you earlier, so in order to prevent such problems, the material selection plays a very important role. See guys, I have already told you that in order to prevent this adheration and all the friction and all the inconveniences of operation in machine elements or in machine parts, we need to select a very good material or particular specific material for suiting that application. Okay, so bearing material should have the required qualities or characteristics to serve the purpose. So guys, this bearing material should have the required qualities and characteristics to serve this purpose, as we need to prevent this adhering and tearing and scoring of the surfaces of moving parts. So bearing is the material which can overcome all these problems. Okay, so see, all this is about the bearing materials, and this is about the need of bearing materials, that why we are going to use this material in our day-to-day life or in various industrial application. So guys, without wasting time, we should see about the properties of bearing materials. Now, what properties should possess by bearing material? This question has been asked so many times in examination also, and in MCQ types also such kind of questions has been asked. So guys, what are the desirable properties of bearing materials? Let's see. It should possess low coefficient of friction. As I have already told you that why we are developing bearing material, or why we are selecting bearing material in between two moving parts, because we need to prevent, or we need to minimize the friction or the scoring of the moving surfaces. That is why it possesses low coefficient of friction. It should have, bearing material should possesses low coefficient of friction, then only it is possible to save your surfaces by wearing and scoring. Okay, then provide hard wear resistant surface with a tough core. See guys, it should provide hard wear resistant surface with a tough core. So its surface should be wear resistant because that should not be got wear out by friction. And its core means internal structure or internal part of material. So its bearing material's internal part or internal structure should be tough. Why it should be tough? Because it should sustain all the wear and tear which happens in between transferring the rotary motion in between two surfaces. Okay, then have high compressive strength. It should have high compressive strength. Its compressive strength should be high because whenever it transfer motion, relative motion in between two parts, there is a compressive force is highly acting over that. So because of that compressive force, it should not be fail out. Okay, it should not be failure. So to prevent that failure, it should have high compressive strength. The next is have high fatigue strength. It should have high fatigue strength. Now high fatigue strength because in moving application, so many repeated kind of loads are going to act on your component. So fatigue is the ability, or fatigue is the property of material which resist repetitive kind of loads. Okay, so it should have high fatigue strength. Then it should be able to bear shocks and vibrations. As I have told you, it should be able to bear shocks and vibrations because bearing is generally used for rotating members. That is why it should have good shocks and vibrations resistance. Then possesses high thermal conductivity to dissipate heat generated due to friction between the bearing and the rotating shaft. See guys, it should possess high thermal conductivity. Why? Because it should have to dissipate the heat which is generated due to the friction of your rotating bearing and your rotating shaft. So which is shaft is fitted on your bearing and your shaft is rotating part. Shaft is a rotating member of any machine. So that bearing material should be have this property, that is heat dissipation, and this heat dissipation property should be possible with your high thermal conductivity. So all these are the various properties of bearing materials. The next is types of bearing materials. So guys, let me tell you what are the various types of bearing materials are. So all of we are seeing the various types of bearing material. That is, first is lead or tin based alloys, that is Babbitt metals. Popularly it is known as Babbitt metals. Then cadmium based alloys, then aluminium based alloys, copper based alloys, silver based alloys, and non-metallic bearing materials. So all these six types of bearing materials which are widely used in industry, and amongst all these types, Babbitt metals are very widely used. That is, lead or tin based alloys are widely used in industries. So let us see about the white or Babbitt metal. So guys, I want to show you the composition, properties and applications of white or Babbitt metal. If I am talking about the composition of Babbitt metal, so some common compositions are, please see, there are 5 different compositions are given for this white or Babbitt metal. The first composition is, it contains 90% tin and 10% copper. See guys, it contains 90% tin and 10% copper. Second example of white metal composition is, it contains 80% lead and 50% antimony and 5% tin. Third one is, it contains 76% copper and 24% lead. That is why it is called as lead and tin base. Then next is, it contains 75% lead and 10% tin. And the last one is, it contains 67% of copper, 28% of tin and 5% of lead. So all these 5 different compositions are mentioned here. I have mentioned here all these different 5 compositions. In examination you can write any one of these or any 2 of these, or if you remember 5 out of 5, then you can write 5 out of 5 of this. So all these are the correct and latestly updated composition for white or Babbitt metal. Okay, so Babbitt metal also popularly known as white metal. If I am talking about the application part of the white metal, then you can see clearly it is used in light and medium IC engine, big end bearing. See guys, where it is used? It is used in light and medium IC engine, big end bearing. IC engine bearing it is used for general purpose heavy bearings. If you dealing with the higher load, or if our requirement is to deal or carry the higher load or move the higher load with this bearing, then white metal is used. Then in electrical machine bearing, it is used in electrical machine bearing also. Whatever electric machine that we have seen, the general lathe machine and all, so all these machines used this white metal Babbitt bearing. For medium duty bearings, if your weight load carrying capacity is medium or moderate in weight, so we can use this white metal bearing. If I am talking about the properties of white metal, then you can see it has good hardness. Okay, as we have seen the desirable properties of bearing material, that what desirable properties of bearing material should possess. Okay, that what property should possess by one bearing material. So these are the various properties that we have seen, and this white metal also possesses such property. That is one of the properties, good hardness. It should have good hardness. Then it has good ductility also. It is ductile in all nature also. Then so this is about the all your white metal and its properties. So guys, we have seen so many aluminum and its alloy, and again we have seen the bearing materials and its alloy. So in this way we have completed the our unit number 4, that is non-ferrous metals and alloy, in which we have seen various copper and its alloy, and then again we have seen the aluminum and its alloy, and we have again seen about the bearing material. So I hope that this content is beneficial for you, and if you want to study in detail, then please watch this video by so much attention. So I hope that this content should be